welcome to the SB Connect Industry Chat. And today's presenters are Jolene Saldivar and Clarissa Rodriguez from the University of California, Riverside. And today they're going to speak to you live from the UCR Botanical Gardens. So let's welcome Jolene and Clarissa. And go ahead, ladies. The floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Botanic Garden here at UC Riverside. I'm Jolene Saldivar.
And I'm Clarissa Rodriguez.
And this morning, we're going to start you off with introductions into our research and what we do here at UCR.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm Jolene Saldivar. I'm a third-year PhD candidate here at UCR. I study plant pollinator interactions, and my career goal ultimately is to become a professor and lead a lab just like the one I'm in now, conducting lots of research on pollinators.
Hi, everybody. I'm Clarissa Rodriguez, and I study plant invasion dynamics. So I study species that move outside of their native distributions to see how they're impacting our environments. And my career goal is to be a professor at an undergraduate institution, but also work with lab managers so we can solve these pressing issues on invasive species management. And so now let's talk a little bit about our roots and how we got to where we are today.
Thank you, Clarissa. So I come from a family of migrant farm workers. I have grandparents and parents from Mexico and Poland, and I'm a first generation college student. I was raised by a single mother. I have five brothers. So, this was a great challenge for me, particularly continuing education. So I want to tell you a little bit about my journey through education. I come from low-income families, so as a result, I wanted to go to college, but we just couldn't afford it. So I decided to enlist in the U.S. Air Force. And during my enlistment, I deployed all over the world. I was able to take classes online and on the weekends. And through those opportunities, I finished my first bachelor's degree in environmental science. And I just loved the area of research so much. Once I separated from the Air Force, I continued my education and I completed my second bachelor's degree in 2017 at Humboldt State University in Northern California. And after that, I participated in research opportunities in the summer of 2017. I studied plant pollinator interactions in Washington State. So I got to hike all over Mount Rainier National Park and really track the butterflies and what plants they're visiting. And then I also did an internship at Harvard Forest at Harvard University. And there I studied trees and how climate change is affecting. And Clarissa, do you want to give us some background?
Thank you. So the reason I'm standing here today as a PhD candidate is thanks to my parents. So they were born in Zacatecas, Mexico, and they migrated over to Coachella Valley in the 1970s to work in the citrus industry. And so eventually they moved to LA. This is really where my parents started to encourage me to follow my dreams, right? And so my path to higher ed, it started all when I was in high school. Actually, I didn't want to go too far away from my family, so I decided to go to college really locally. I went to school at Cal Poly Pomona. I lived at home, so I was still close with my family and I had that family support. But there's where I found my love for plants. So after college, I went off and I got some internships, which got some great experience. And also I went to Oregon, which I had this awesome job that I got to camp out 5 days out of the week, just looking for plants in the middle of nowhere. And it was absolutely great. And that's how I ended up here at UCR. Oh, sorry. So now we're going to show you a video to give you more idea of the diversity at the Botanic Garden that we have here. So please enjoy that video.
little bit about why I chose my field of study. And so I study plant pollinators again. I study them here in Riverside County and throughout the Inland Empire. You may see a photo on the left of some yellow flowers and some warehouses in the distance. And that is one of my major concerns is increased development, warehouses, housing, and things of the such. And, these are really damaging our ecosystems. They're eliminating them or, putting our plant communities and our pollinators at stress. We see more frequent fires as well. And also we see a lot of weeds coming in. All of these are among the greatest stressors for plants and pollinators. We see is our monarch population is declining. So I'm really trying to get at what other plants are the pollinators visiting? Are we threatening those plants, or are the pollinators able to adapt and utilize other plants for food and also to lay their eggs on for the next generation? So that's really my focus here in the Inland Empire. Clarissa?
Thank you very much. So as I mentioned, I study plant invasion dynamics. So what that means is that I study what drives invasive plant establishment and spread so that we can improve invasive plant management and restoration. And so one of the reasons why I'm so interested in invasive species is that annually we spend about $26.8 billion on trying to manage these species. Now that's a lot of money. And secondly is that invasive species are recognized as the second leading cause of biodiversity loss. And so that's really important. We're losing a bunch of species because of these invasive species. So my research focuses on understanding how can we mitigate this? How can we help our native populations by getting rid of these invasive species and stopping the spread?
Great, thank you. So now we're going to talk about some of the many career opportunities in plant biology. We will start off with just an overall view of some of them. So you can do anything from agriculture. UCR is known for its citrus crops here, and study the diseases that threaten this agriculture here. So we'll zoom into the ecology field. We have our own slide for that. You may be seeing it. Thank you. So we, as I mentioned, ecologists can study plant pollinator interactions or just any type of interactions between life, and this just opens up many opportunities to restore habitats, to really find out what's threatening these habitats and these interactions. And you'll see the typical salary range at the bottom of the slide. Clarissa, do you want to tell us about some more opportunities?
Yeah, awesome. So a degree in plant biology can be very diverse. So we study ecology, but there are some other options as well. So you can be a plant pathologist, and basically this means that you study what is causing the diseases in these plants. And so that's really important, because if you don't realize it, we use plants for our medicine, for our clothes, for our food. So it's really important to understand what is causing these diseases. And so there you can see on the slide, there's a picture of the different types of diseases that you can find in plants. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see the typical salary range. So people in this profession get paid pretty well. Now let's move on to plant geneticists. And so for plant geneticists, we've actually had geneticists for the whole civilization of humans for a long time, because we have been playing around with corn throughout our lives. And so there you see a picture of how diverse corn can be, right? So plant geneticists can do a variety of things. They can create genetically modified organisms to increase our crop yields. They can also tweak things so that we can get more food with less pests. And there's really, you could also create new varieties of plants. Here at UCR, we create some clementine type mixes and some new fruit altogether, which is really exciting. Jolene?
Great, thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning.